Hey, this is Miss Haley. This is the material for Chapter 9. You should be finished with all of the other tests by now, and you've got to just learn this material. It will be on the final exam, although there's not an individual test for it. And this is going to be some just odds and ends that we include in our Math 110. So I'm going to start here. The first thing is we are wanting to learn how to solve a system of equations using a matrix, or plural matrices, on the graphic calculator. Okay, so to solve the system means that we're going to have three equations, and we're wanting to find x, y, and z that make all three of them true. Now, back in your Algebra 1, Algebra 2 days, you saw some little problems like this that had two equations and two variables, just an x and a y. And maybe you remember some of the ways that you solved those. But now we're going to bigger ones that have 3 or 4 variables. And it's really difficult to use those same steps that you did back then. So we're going to learn how to use a matrix in our graphing calculator. Okay, so a matrix is just a collection of numerical data. It's sort of like an old-fashioned paper and pencil spreadsheet. If you could picture this being like in Excel, you know. So, the size, or we also call it the order of a matrix, is the number of rows by the number of columns. You have to be sure that you got it in that order. Okay? Rows go sideways, columns go up and down. Okay, so these above matrices, A is 2 by 1. It is 2 rows by just one column going up and down. So 2 by 1. Okay, the middle one, are you thinking what it might be? Okay, were you thinking 1 by 3? Okay, 1 row by 1, 2, 3 columns. The last one. Okay, hopefully you were thinking 5 by 2. 5 coming first, there's 5 rows, and then 2 columns. Alright, on this next page I've got some just for you to try, and you can hit pause, and then the next page when you start it back up will be the answers to these. Sorry about that. Okay. Alright, so hit pause, do them right quickly, just determining the order, the size, and then restart the video, and the next page will have your answers. Okay, the first one should have been 3 by 2, 3 rows, 2 columns. Over here, 4 rows, 1 column. But this one, 1 row going across, 4 columns of numbers. Number 4, probably couldn't miss that 1 by 1. And number 5 also, you probably just about couldn't miss it, 3 by 3. Then the last one, 2 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Alright, so I hope you did those well. Alright, now we're going to see what the steps, how we use all of that to actually solve a matrix to help us find the x number, the y number, and the z that would work in all of those, not just one of them. Okay, so the first thing we do, we write down the augmented matrix from this system. The matrix will include the coefficients of the x's, the coefficients of the y's, coefficients of the z's, and then the constants that each one is equal to. So on this one, my matrix A would look like 1, 2, 3, 2, negative 1, negative 1, negative 3, 2, negative 4, and then usually we put a bar right there where the equals are. 9, -8, and 3. And its size, its order, you've got 3 rows going sideways, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns of numbers. So it is a 3 by 4. Now over on our calculator, if you look right here above, if I can get my mouse over there. Okay. Right here above the x to the -1, you got the word matrix, which means we need to hit second first. Second matrix. You see these choices. If you've got old numbers in here, don't worry about it. It's fine. You'll just type over them when the time comes. Okay. So, second matrix gives you this. Edit is actually where we start. That's what we use to put in the numbers from our matrix. Then we'll go to math. That's all the commands. And then the last thing we'll do is choose the name where we put everything. Now we will only be using matrix A. There's no reason to go to all these other ones. So right now, let's enter the information that we've got up here. Slide over to edit, pick matrix A, and then type in the size. So I'm going to slide over. I'm going to choose number 1, enter. Now you see how it's laid out. It wants the order, rows by columns. So I am going to type 3, enter, and it pops itself over. 4, enter. Now most of you will not see this last column unless you slide with your arrows. And then you can see that it really is sitting right over here to the right off the screen. But on most of the calculators, it'll only show 3 columns at a time. So it's there. Don't worry about that it's not there. And you do type that number. And what you'll be doing, you'll be going all the way across the top, pressing enter after each number. And after you type the enter, after you've typed this 4th number, it will hop down here automatically, and you'll be back at the front going across. So we're going to type 1, 2, -3, 9. 1, enter. 2, enter. -3, enter. 9, enter. And it comes back up front. 2, enter. -1, enter. 2, enter. -8. In that last 4th position, enter. 3, enter. -1, enter. -4, enter. And 3, enter. It's super easy to make typing mistakes, so please check back over it and compare it to what the actual problem says before you go on. Okay, so I feel confident that I've typed them in correctly, and so after that I press second quit. Okay, now we're ready to give it the command that's going to tell it to find the numbers. So I'm going to say second matrix. I'm going to slide over to math, and I'm going to go way down 7890 AB to choice B, RREF. Enter pops it up, and then don't hit another enter yet. Go back into matrix and choose the name A. Once you've got both of those together right there on the same line, then hit enter. Okay. Alright, so what do you see on the screen? We're seeing 100 -1, 0102, 001 -2. Now, what we want every time, we have to look up front and check to see if we've got this block with a diagonal 1s surrounded by 3 zeros here and 3 zeros there. Or if it were larger, the diagonal would just go down another one and you'd have more zeros. If you've got that, then it's a good thing, because what that will mean is that the stack of numbers over here on the right is your actual solution for X, Y, and Z. So I do have that. So this is my X, this is my Y, this is my Z. Now in the next example, we'll see if you don't have that, how we interpret it. Okay. Okay, so we want to work this first one up here. Number 35. P, Q, and R instead of X, Y, Z. Okay, so right here I'm going to go ahead and draw my augmented matrix, just kind of right here, just for laziness. I'm going to put my bar right there. I'm going to fill in any blanks with ones. Remember, if the whole variable is missing, then that would actually be a 0. But if the variable is there and you just don't see the number, it's a 1. Okay? All right. Now also, look at the size. It's another 3 by 4. 3 by 4 matrix. So over here on my calculator, I'm going to clear it out. I'm going to go second matrix. Slide to the right, under edit, pick it up. I can just, since it's a 3, I can just press enter. It'll hop over, and I wanted the 4, so I can press enter. Now I'm going to start typing the new numbers. 1, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter. Back up front, middle row. 1, enter, 2, enter, 3, enter, 4, enter. Back up front on the bottom row. 4, enter, 5, enter, 6, enter, 7, enter. Double check all your typing. We did not have any negatives on that one. No negatives. Double check everything. Feel good about it. Second quit. Now the command. Second matrix. Math. Down to the B. Now the name. Back to second matrix. Enter for name number 1A. And then enter. Okay, so we are looking at that. This is what we're seeing. We do not see the diagonal ones. So let's look back over here. It said if you don't have the diagonal ones and zeros, then you have to look at the very last bottom number in the bottom row. And it's about whether it is 0 or is not 0. Is 0 will mean an infinite number of solutions. Not 0 will mean no solution. So I'm going to the very bottom row, the very last number. It is a 0. Is 0 means infinite number of solutions. So 35, you've got an infinite number of solutions. Okay, now take a minute and try 36. Pause the video. Okay, and then start it back up. So on 36 now, you should be seeing, after you've done all the work, again, no diagonal of ones. So, no, I don't see that. I look at the last bottom number. It is not a 0, so there is no solution. Is 0 infinite solutions? Match the I's in your memory. Not and no down here. Not a 0, no solution. All right, so now try 37, 38, 39. Pause the video, and then after you've got your answers, start up actually the next video clip, which if I'm not able to get it, the title changed, it's just showing as recording number 5, and go on with that one.